Marco Gutierrez is the co-founder of Latinos for Trump. Now, he recently went on MSNBC to talk about why he believes it's important to vote for Trump and do something about Mexicans in the country, which is kind of interesting because he's Latino himself. Now, his reasoning in the video that you're about to watch is hilarious. Take a look.
The needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few, and different times, different problems. Yes, indeed, there's a lot of people. My colleague here would not be here, but we need to understand that this is a different time, and we're having problems here. We need to reform.
What problems are you talking about?
My culture is a very dominant culture. And it's imposing, and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
What did that guy just say?
We're going to have taco trucks every corner. And he said it like it was a bad thing.
I thought he was saying it as a good thing.
First,
I saw the headline. He was saying it like it's negative to have taco trucks on every corner.
First of all, let me just tell you guys something. There have been many a night where I really wanted a taco, not from a taco restaurant, but from a truck.
Whoa,
it's different from a truck.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Sometimes I want a different kind of taco. No, but okay, let's get back to this very serious story, okay? Do you know how hard it is to find a taco truck sometimes?
Yes.
Having one on every corner
would be awesome.
Legalize marijuana, legalize taco trucks on every corner. What is wrong with this guy? Who is he? This is so un-American.
I voted for Martin O'Malley just so we could have a bear truck on every corner. But I guess it doesn't work like that or whatever. We're a very dominant culture of the Irish. Right?
By the way, he started off his quote with a Star Trek quote. Like
yes.
that sounds like the principles of utilitarianism, but it's originally from Star Trek.
What was it? What was the
needs of the
many outweigh the needs of the few. That's from Star Trek?
Yes.
I didn't
know. But the needs of the many include tacos. So
I know,
yes.
seriously.
Yes.
You know what I think, though? You know what would be great? If we could allow more Muslim refugees into the country so we could have halal trucks in every corner, too. Because these halal guys, they now moved out to Los Angeles, too. I mean, that's a free plug. We're not endorsed by them. But holy shit, I love their food.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I also love the halal guys. I was in New York. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I do love that stuff. I
love street food. I love taco trucks. The heart of this story is that this guy doesn't even he goes on national television. He's the co-founder of Latinos for Trump.
It's very confusing.
And he can't come up with a good reason for why you should vote for Trump. His reason is if we vote for Trump or if we don't vote for Trump, we're going to have taco trucks on every corner. That's your fucking reason? Really? Have you done any research into the ideas or the policies of these politicians?
So once again, these stories, all they do is reinforce my idea that a Donald Trump presidency is not to be feared, that it is a joke, that he wouldn't be able to do any of the horrible shit he says he's going to do because he's a massive incompetent. These are the kind of people he surrounds himself with. The guy's super duper incompetent. He wouldn't be able to do anything. Mm-hmm. So I'm not afraid of Donald Trump anymore, and especially because of stuff like this.
You're not afraid of what he would do on a foreign policy level, though? I mean, the president has a lot more power when it comes to foreign policy. So there are things he can do without congressional approval.
Yes. No, definitely on foreign policy. I mean, Hillary Clinton already called for a no-fly zone in Syria, which is she already destabilized the Middle East by invading Iraq. She was full-throated. She brags about being duped by George Bush. So she set the table for this stuff. Also Libya. So whatever you're afraid Donald Trump might do, Hillary Clinton's already done, and she's planning on doing more.
Yeah, but Donald Trump might piss off China, and that could have some worse consequences, I feel like, than destabilizing the Middle East, which, by the way, I completely agree with all the points you made about what Hillary has done in the Middle East.
Yeah, I think the difference between Hillary and Trump is Hillary is predictable, and for better or worse, she's predictable. We know what she's going to do. And Trump is unpredictable. So I think it goes beyond foreign policy. And look, I am concerned about what he would do to minorities in the U.S. I'm just keeping it real. I am concerned about his stance on punishing women for having abortions. He's a hideous person. And more importantly, regardless of what Trump is able to do single-handedly or what kind of action he can unilaterally take, he has brought out the most hideous parts of this country. The most hideous people, he's emboldened them, he's empowered them, and the stuff that I'm seeing out there with both verbal and physical attacks disgusts me. So I'm concerned about that too. I think he's already done a lot of damage.
So Donald Trump has created this. He's launching into this era of bigotry and ignorance as a virtue. Like
Yeah.
he promotes that. That's his entire campaign message. I think that damage that will impact the American future is way more significant than Hillary's possibly shitty welfare policies. Let's say domestically that might affect minority groups more so than most, and also Hillary's militant foreign policies.
She's a war hawk. And
I agree.
she's a proven war hawk who brags about being endorsed by war criminals, meaning John Negroponte and Henry Kissinger. And let's say when she becomes president, I'll just reiterate what Chris Hayes said on his own show to Joan Walsh last week when he said, you know, if she's president and Russia invades the Ukraine, that's literally what he said. Who knows what she's going to do? Yeah, she'll start World War III. She's tried to a couple times already. So she's...
So do you think that Trump would be better than Hillary?
I think Trump would be easier to control.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he can't get anything done. The guy's a moron.
His own campaign can't control him, though.
But he can't do anything. He goes to Mexico and immediately knuckles under because he's a pussy. Right? That's what bullies are. Bullies are pussies, and he's a pussy. And as soon as he got confronted with a real Mexican, he knuckled under like the pussy that he is.
But Jimmy, we had a controllable American Republican president before Obama, and look what he did as far as destabilizing the Middle East.
He didn't do that. Hillary Clinton did that with him.
Okay.
So now you're saying the horrible thing George Bush did is bad because he did it, but it's okay if Hillary Clinton did it?
No, what I'm saying is American foreign policy is not going to change regardless of the person we put in place. I think
yes, it would.
No, I don't believe that at all.
Okay. I disagree.
I think that America, I might be wrong. You're way more experienced than I am in this, but this is, as a political skeptic, I believe that American foreign interest is heavily dictated by our economic interests. The financial interests of few corporations.
There's no doubt. You're right.
That dictate exactly what the government's going to do. Those people are still going to be financing both parties, both Trump and Hillary Clinton. If you're saying that Trump is easier to manage, he's still going to do the exact same things as far as foreign policy, as far as intervening in a militant and hostile fashion in the Middle East more than America currently has done, if that is what the American military-industrial complex dictates that America needs to do.
And one final thing, I mean, look, he's an idiot. I look, for the most part, I agree with you, Jimmy, right? But when you talk about how he's a little better than Hillary because he's easier to control, think about the people he's surrounded with who would control him, right? I mean...
No, I mean controlled like by the Senate and the Congress and the country could unify against him. The press is starting to now push back against him. They weren't before. Even Chuck Todd decided to stop taking his phone calls. So that's a big, oh boy. And I love Chuck Todd. I was watching Meet the Press, and David Plouffe, who's he called Trump a psychopath. And Chuck Todd stopped. He stopped him and he goes, now, wait a minute. Do you have a degree in psychiatry to say that? And I stop and I go, Chuck, do you have a degree in journalism? No, you don't. You don't. In fact, you didn't even finish college. And
really?
No. And then he goes on to say, this is what I think frustrates voters. When people come on and say, that's not what frustrates voters, Chuck. What frustrates voters is when you sit there and let a frickin' con man con your ass off for 12 months. When you go on his helicopter and you're afraid to stand up to him. When you push back in the most gentlest of ways against a psychopath. And when somebody comes on and does call him a psychopath, that's the thing that goes too far? You think that's what pisses off your viewers?
But
you're out of your mind.
I feel like we need to get back to the important topic at hand, though. Does Chuck Todd like tacos?
He does like tacos.
Who doesn't fucking like tacos? Everyone likes tacos. And
that's like that guy saying, you know what? If the Scandinavians take over, we're going to have unicorn shitting ice cream on every corner. Yes, that's great. We love it. Let's have unicorn shitting ice cream. I would love to have unicorn shitting ice cream on every corner.
You get hours of extra content if you're a Young Turks member. TYTnetwork.com/join.
Go ahead, girl.